Hello and welcome back to our horror and sci-fi podcast. Today we'll be discussing
Two movies.
yes, the 2015 and 2024 action post-apocalyptic films, Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Here with me I have Will and
Hi.
Vance.
Hi.
All right, guys. So let's just get started. What are your initial thoughts on both movies?
So I'll let Will explain what order we watched them in.
So these people decided to watch them in the new order that was released. So they watched Furiosa and then
We saw it as a class yesterday, yeah.
they watched Fury Road.
You had already seen it.
Yeah, I saw Fury Road last year during my intro to film class.
He and I had never seen it. I had seen it.
So-
So
yeah, good movie.
I want to ask you, seeing it again, did you notice anything new this time around that you didn't the first time?
Basically, all the gaps that were questions to
That
that was
Furiosa
there
filled in?
that Furiosa filled in practically. Yeah.
Was there any gap that wasn't filled in that you are still wondering about?
Where is Max going?
I wondered the same thing.
That's pretty much it.
We'll see. The Wasteland maybe will tell us. No, it's another
Wasteland.
prequel, yeah.
Wasteland is set
Another prequel,
before.
yeah.
It's set during the same time as Furiosa.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
So it won't be.
Maybe the next sequel will.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me?
What did you learn from these two movies? Because obviously he'd already seen, so he's filling in gaps, whereas you and me were.
I learned that I was missing out on a great movie. I don't know why I hadn't seen it before.
But which one?
The first one, or not the first one, but Fury Road. I haven't. It's been out for a decade now, and I still haven't seen it until today.
That's actually quite scary. It's been out for almost a
2015 it
decade
came out,
now.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
That's kind of scary to me. I'm
yeah,
old.
that's crazy.
So, I know you're the host, Mason. So, you have any questions for? So I'll answer the thing. So for me, what I took from it was based on your question. Both are really good movies. I think Will said it best though. Pure action, this one was better. Fury Road was better. Pure story, Furiosa was better.
I would agree.
I think Will, but I think that's how you worded it, if I'm correct.
Yeah, because
Story-wise, Furiosa. Action-wise, Fury Road.
because literally, Fury Road story is what we're trying to get from the Citadel.
Get rid of these
The
these
whole story
wives, yeah.
is Citadel to
Green-
paradise,
Green Place.
wherever Green Place. Yeah,
Wherever that is.
It practically is paradise, but whatever. So that's the whole premise of Fury Road. Furiosa is the setup of that. Literally, Furiosa's story and how she got from where she was as a young adolescent child to the adult version of herself that she's in with Fury Road. And that was a very interesting way to be like, hey, I'm going to use everything to my advantage to fuel my revenge in the sake of Furiosa, with every conflict she faced in that, to literally how everything still fueled her with anger and rage and everything else into Fury Road. Because she still wanted revenge off of Joe, even though in that one she wanted his help due to Dementus in Furiosa.
Yeah.
So, any questions that you have over there?
No, it makes sense when you watch the movies, but I don't know everyone characters' names. But
Let me ask you a question.
I get what you're
Who
saying.
was in your? Okay, I think we all might agree here. Who was the better villain, Immortal Joe or Dementus?
I liked Dementus better, but I think as a villain, Immortal Joe was a better villain.
Depends on your way if you're thinking of villain.
What
If
about
you're-
you?
If you're thinking,
No, I just mean straight up like
I know.
main antagonist. Who was a better main antagonist? We'll put it like that then.
but that's still a thing.
Yeah, but
Because
they thought they were doing the right thing. Yeah.
not only that, Loki's a threat, but Thanos is a different level of a threat.
Okay, but that's not my question. Just to you, from what you've watched, who was the better antagonist?
From the threat of the heroes, it would be Joe. But for comedic purposes and everything else, and then you really want to give the guy a shot,
Yeah.
it would be Dementus.
Funny enough, I didn't think Chris Hemsworth would play a good villain. I was proven completely wrong
Oh yeah, he's
because he's a nice guy in general. Aussies are nice people. He's a good guy. He's a hell of an actor. He's like a genuine person. He gives lots of money to charity. I can never see him as a villain, and then he pulled it off great yesterday.
It's the nice guys that you gotta watch out
I
He
mean,
pulled it off great. Like it was amazing. It was
That
really
happens
good.
all the time. Mark Hamill, literally the chosen one, Luke Skywalker. He played the fucking
Oh,
Joker.
yeah.
So I'm not really that surprised.
So what was? Before we get into our facts here, let me ask you guys a question. What would you say was? Was there a sense of watching these movies for you guys? Was there a sense of comparison, or was it each movie's good in their own way? Did you feel a need to compare?
I don't feel it because, like Will and Humphrey both said in class, I think these movies are just one movie together, just made separately.
Third act of Furiosa's first act of this.
No, wait. Fury Road is the third act of Furiosa. That's how I see it. Like Humphrey said, because he's not wrong. The whole movie is just a big old chase.
Case, yeah.
And to piggyback off that, it's literally, as Humphrey also said, Max might be in these movies.
But he's just the vessel at which the movie moves through.
It's not just the vessel in which it moves through. Everything happens around him. He can affect the main.
He just doesn't.
No, he can and he does. But at the end of the day, with or without him,
The story goes on.
the story still goes on. Furiosa would have still made it back, period. She would have made it probably back all the way there. The only thing that he actually did that was actually going to be different, he caught up to them, told them,
There's what you're looking for doesn't exist.
no, it might, and it does, but by the time you find it, you're going to run out of fuel going that way, and you're not going to find anything but salt.
And food even, yeah.
You go back,
You already
there's
know
the
what's
chance.
there, yeah.
There's the hope. Now that everyone's outside of it, it's completely unguarded.
You have any questions for us before we get into our facts as the host?
Let me think.
You got any, Will?
No, I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't really know what to ask.
there's nothing really to ask. It's really hard to actually just straight up go ask something about a very badass movie.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. What do you feel is the... In terms of... We obviously talked about in class today, the two movies, there wasn't much dialogue, but it was more what they didn't say that spoke volumes. What movie do you feel like did that better?
Fury Road. I feel like there was a lot more dialogue in Furiosa.
Well, if you are thinking of them as one story, one has to be more of the story-driven plot to figure
Yeah.
out I have to do all that. Plus, in that movie, Furiosa's very young, so her running her mouth is something she's going to be
True.
curious to do. By the time you meet her in Fury Road, which would be in that 16 years between both, she's learned that by doing the road so many times, by doing the rig,
She knows
being
what to expect.
silent
Kill switch, all that
by
stuff.
being silent, she keeps her head. By
Yeah.
being silent, she has everything under control to keep doing it so that she builds trust with Joe to be able
be able
to
do it
take his
against him, yeah.
wives underneath everything to go.
Yeah.
She's learned the tricks. She's known the road. That way she knows
She's
what
learned
to
it
expect.
better than them, and it's there.
Well-
She's better. I get what you're saying. You're saying she's better than them at their own game.
Not even that.
She kind of is, though.
She is, but the main thing is,
Oh, did I miss the point?
as you said, with the whole, she knows it by doing it, but she has the trust built by everyone,
By Joe, yeah.
by everybody, not just Joe, to be like,
Well, he's the head honcho.
not only that, but like, as he said at the beginning, my Furiosa. So by the point of Fury Road, she has gone to Gastown, gone to Bullet Town the entire time for the past how
he
many
built
months,
trust in her.
how many years to do that point, to be able to do it. Because you remember go back to Furiosa, the war.
He built trust.
That
in her.
was how long during the war that was trust. How long
There
that
was a
she
lot
was
of
going
trust
back
built
and
up over
forth.
time. Yeah.
To the point where it's like, okay, she already knew the plan was to take his daughters.
Do you think?
Two.
Okay, you've
his wives,
seen
actually.
Fury Road before, but we had all seen Furiosa. Do you think he knew she was going to be special in terms of like her abilities?
She proved that all the way through Furiosa.
No,
let
I'm
alone
saying before he took her in, do you think he saw something that no one else did? If you had to guess.
I don't.
As someone who had seen that movie, do you think he saw something in her as a young child?
I don't really know. I just think that, like, as literally he asked her, "Is this your father?"
And she said no.
Therefore, there was the bargaining chip. Also, he wasn't even thinking something more.
Sorry for the spoilers, guys, but we kind of have to talk about
It wasn't even that. Plus, he's only going to see it. The other thing is this. He's not looking at potential. He knew she was female.
Yeah.
What did he do? He threw her with the rest of them.
Yeah.
He wanted to grow her up to see if she can produce a male heir.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much, ooh, you're going to be my war rig. You're going to be this. You're going to fight
It just
for me.
happened to be that way.
That just happened that her skill is better
It
off doing
translated,
that.
yeah.
But his main point is, if I get her now, while she is with someone that is obviously an asshole, worse than I ever was in Joe's mind.
Yeah.
Then I can make her feel
So
safe.
now I get what you're saying about the antagonist. About to them, they're not what you just said makes a lot more sense now. To them, they're not the bad person.
To a bad guy, they're never the bad guy.
Yeah.
Think about it from Dark Knight side of things.
Yeah.
Does Joker ever think anything he's doing is wrong?
No, but at the same point, you know what I like about the movie? He doesn't think it's wrong, but at the same time, he can't justify why it's right. That's why The Dark Knight is such brilliant directing and movie making, because everyone knows the Joker's a bad person. You can't say that he's wrong, but the Joker himself can't prove what he's doing is right.
But
That's why I like it.
But neither can Joe.
Yeah.
Nor Dementis.
That's what I'm saying. That's good movie making. When you can't prove someone's wrong,
well,
you know it's wrong. But you can't prove it.
It's not just that with the movie making. That's just who the characters are.
That's just
the three of them are insane enough individuals that everything that they think is right. They all have one thing in common: a God complex.
And in a way, be honest, did you kind of feel bad for Heath Ledger, his Joker? Because, again, you see him as a bad person, but you can't prove that he was a bad person. Yes, he turned Gotham's White Knight and brought him down to their level, but in his defense, that kind of needed to happen. Like, do I like the Joker as a character? No, but a lot of things that he did, you can't say were wrong, but you can't say they're right either.
He blew up a hospital. I think that speaks for itself.
He got everyone out though.
He still blew up a hospital.
But he didn't. Gotham City Police did.
That's what we're saying. They said he blew up a hospital. If you watch the movie deeper, Gotham City Police blew it up. That's what we're saying. Joker didn't actually do it.
Yeah, I know.
But even with all that, he does have the right morals in the right places to be able to do it.
The morals are just in the wrong place.
But, yes, burning the money scene was good with him saying, like, it doesn't matter.
Because it honestly doesn't.
But, at the same token, he's pushing a society that's worse.
Yeah.
Yes, he's fixing the now, but he's not thinking of
the later,
the aftermath. He's fixing Gotham now. That's what Joe did. That's what Dementis did. They fixed their now.
They didn't fix
without thinking the
future,
later.
Yeah.
Like literally, Dementis literally.
They were worried about the moment.
Well, not only that. Look at what Dementis did. He goes, I can be a leader. I can be a leader. I can be a great leader. He finally gets Bullet Town. Everyone wants to kill him.
Yeah.
Within probably 30 minutes of him rolling that town. His own people that rode with him.
Turned on him.
His own tribe that went with him when he was a rogue said, F this.
You're going too far.
I'm done. And decided to go against them. And
do
only
you think
when
he got Bullet Town, they thought this was too far? When do you think they decided they actually turned on him? In your opinion, because again, I've realized something with you, and I like this. You analyze movies much deeper than he and I do in terms of like you think about it. So when do you think his homies or his group of boys turned on him? What point do you think that was?
Ready? It's very simple.
No.
What
we
was
don't
he
know for
promising? What was he promising?
Yeah.
When he went to the Citadel, what was he promising everybody? He goes,
Equality.
bring me your leaders and I will give you the food. I will give you the resources. I will give you the water.
Yeah.
When he conquered Bullet Town,
It didn't do it. Yeah.
he couldn't provide water. He couldn't provide food. He couldn't provide very good shelter. Everything he was promising never got fulfilled.
To be fair, I don't think that was his own fault per se.
Yeah, but he still promised it, and they believed him. So
And when you are a bunch of people in desperation that
You're
are
gonna
following
believe-
one
you're gonna
person,
believe something, yeah.
don't make promises you can't keep.
because when you are the leader
They're gonna
and
expect
stuff
a lot
does
from
not
you.
do, and that's why certain people shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I think you mentioned it earlier. You mentioned a god complex and a likable villain. What did Dementus do for you two that made him a likable villain?
Okay, I've been talking too much. You go first.
Okay, well, first off, he was just goofy, so that definitely he
It's
was a
Chris
lot
Hemsworth.
goofier than he was a lot goofier.
That's him as a
than-
person, yeah.
I know, but he was still a lot goofier than Joe.
Joe.
Yeah. So
Mortal Joe, yeah.
yeah, he was a lot goofier than Joe. So I liked him in that aspect. He seemed more human than Joe.
No, I agree with that.
Because Joe, he's just a menacing guy who stands there half the time. And then he gets his face ripped off.
And you don't even know what he really looks like.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I put together too, which was thought was funny, is that even Joe, when they met, he knew that he was gonna be crazy enough, take over one of the towns, etc.
Yeah.
What he did not expect was literally how
A group of bandits coming back
Well,
to stop him.
not only that, he probably thought he would have done it, and his own people would have killed him. He would have. He thought he was that dumb. He
Yeah.
knew he was dumb.
We didn't know how to.
Joe thought he was that dumb that his people would have been like, okay, you promised all this, we're going to end it. He was not expecting his two people to go and quote unquote mess it up worse.
Yeah.
Hence how when they did the decoy plan of we're going to drive to Gastown to make it look like it, so that way Dementus fell into the trap quicker than anyone, hence the dialogue of him going, the
They've
fools.
fallen for it.
They've
yeah.
fallen for it. Let's go back. Like, that proves his idiocy.
Yeah.
But I don't. At the same point, I'm gonna take one for the team here. I don't think you can blame him for that because again, he thought they were dumb because up until that point they had shown that they were. To be fair, they had shown that
Well,
they had shown that they weren't the smartest people.
Well, here's the thing. For one, they're all in a freaking desert, so they're
I'm
all
not,
a little
I'm,
loopy.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying the people showed that they weren't the smartest, so you can't blame them for thinking that they're gonna go attack them.
Or they were that smart that they
No,
were
but I'm
playing dumb for
I don't
the
think
fool.
early on they were. I think they eventually were. I think early on they were initially honestly dumb. I think they caught on to it. I think initially they were. I really do.
The only person that was smart enough to figure it all out the entire time was Furiosa.
I think everyone else genuinely early on was.
Well, first off, the other reason they were all turning a blind eye to her is because guess what? Big surprise, woman.
You know what? Also, we can also. I think I think it was really underrated. Her snipe ability was awesome.
Yeah,
She was really.
that's
That's on full display in Furiosa, and I think that was awesome to see.
all right. Mason, you want to ask people about their sources?
So will
yeah.
you go first? 'Cause
Okay.
You went last. And
Actually,
you
I want to go first.
host
'cause-
go last.
I want to go first because I have an interesting.
Well, it doesn't matter who does what.
Sure.
I have an interesting fact. Oh no, I lost the Wikipedia page because I was looking up the leech stuff.
Oh goodness.
All right.
We're not gonna get into that.
Okay, you want me to go when you're?
I can go. I got mine pulled up right here.
Yeah, you guys
Go.
go
Alright.
first.
So, mine is English.elpice.com. It's about Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, the two main actors, not getting along. And it says, in 9 years since the film's release, both Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy have taken responsibility for the feud on the set of Mad Max Fury Road, claiming that the grueling production schedule and lack of mutual trust were the main triggers of their enmity. In hindsight, it was over our heads in many ways. The pressure on both of us was overwhelming at times, and what she needed was a better, perhaps more experienced partner in me. That's something that can't be faked. I'd like to think that now I'm older and uglier, I could rise to the occasion, said Hardy in the 2022 book. I do think it's also interesting that they mentioned they didn't blame other outstanding sources. They said, no, I was the problem. But I do think it's also fair to point out, if the three of us were filming a movie in the desert, there would be some tension there, but it's hot. People are sweaty. You're tired. You smell bad. Like that, I get all of that. Like I don't really hold that against them. Like actors have egos. We all understand this. We watch movies. We watch behind the scenes. But I get it. You're in the outback, where it's sweaty, hot. You smell bad. It's a long day. Sand all over you. Like I get it. I think the other thing, it also says right here, I don't want to make excuses for bad behavior, but it was a tough shoot. Now I have a very clear perspective on what went down. I don't think I had clarity when we were making the movie. I was in survival mode. Pardon my language. I really was scared shitless, said Charlize Theron. Because of my own fear, we were putting up walls to protect ourselves instead of saying to each other, you know what, this is scary for you, it's scary for me too. Let's be nice to one another. We were functioning in a weird way like our characters. Everything was about survival. So like what they were doing in the movie was literally what they were doing in person offset. It was all about surviving for them.
Because for one, if you think about it, that's how they all stayed in character.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it, but I also think what goes back to what I said. When you're in the desert, things are going to happen outside of your control. You're going to see creepy animals. You're going to smell bad. You're going to go sand everywhere. You're not going to be happy. There's going to be natural tension.
Yeah.
They were literally always on edge because of the survival instincts that's in all of us as humans, for one.
And the setting didn't help that, yeah.
Because they're in the desert. Therefore, survival.
Outback, yeah.
So, you have yours up over there.
Yeah. This is interesting, I think, according to Wikipedia, just how long it took to actually make the movie. So, according to Wikipedia, George Miller came up with the idea for Fury Road in 1987, but the film spent many years in development hell before pre-production began in 1998. Attempts to shoot the film in the 2000s were delayed numerous times due to the 9/11 attacks, the Iraq War, and controversies surrounding star Mel Gibson, leading Miller to recast Gibson's role of Max.
Robotansky.
Yeah. Miller decided to pursue the film again in 2007 after the release of his animated comedy film Happy Feet. In 2009, Miller announced that the filming would begin in early 2011. Hardy was cast as Max in June of 2010, with production planned to begin that November. Blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. It shot in 2011. It came out in 2015. That is interesting.
Mad Max Fury Road had a lengthy gestation period. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
He wanted blah 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 blah. Basically, the movie took forever to make because of bullshit.
Pretty
but
much.
That's how Hollywood is, though.
But like Humphrey said, they detailed this movie out. So
they had storyboarded everything.
So when all of the backlash from Gibson, 9/11, politics, wars, whatever else is within the real world, they had the story
ready to go,
mapped out. And like I said as well, they probably had enough time to plan out all of Fury Road, done and everything,
and
to the point that they were able to have spinoffs of everything else.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, not even with Mad Max, but let me ask you guys a serious question. Do you guys think it's possible to over-prepare? What do you think?
To what?
To, like, over-prepare for a movie. What do you think?
It's never too much of an over-preparedness for the sake...
No, do you think?
No.
Because I honestly believe if you over-prepare, the shots might look not too real, but like maybe even working on it, like it looks too scripted. You know what I mean? Maybe like the stunts or the script, it might look oversaturated to the point where like they worked on this too long.
With this kind of movie, though.
No, I'm saying this is an exception. But do you think there's some kind of movies where it can be over-scripted and overworked on?
If you're not doing an action film where everything's gonna be done with the actual like stuff, like legit stunts, etc., blah blah blah. When that stuff is literally like that, where you can pre-plan, like if we want to do another movie's example, with Uncharted.
Yeah.
If that took that long to plan out, if it's not
That took
for
4 years to plan.
if it's not for the sake of getting the story right, but just straight up on stunts, I would be mad. But with something like this, where everything is physically done by every actor and actress on the set,
It's
to make
not-
sure that the
it's
production,
practical, yeah.
that the people working the cameras, the stunt people, the stunt
Everyone's
doubles,
prepared
to know exactly what they're gonna do, so no
and
one
what,
dies,
and what could go wrong, what
and
to
what
do,
could go wrong,
what to do
etc.
if it does go wrong.
As Humphrey said, that the production was like, it's a miracle no
He
one
looked-
actually died.
So the question I asked Will was, do you think watching a movie, do you think fans would be against maybe a movie being over prepared? Like if you like shoot a scene, or like as a fan you're watching a movie, you're like, this movie, like this scene looks like it was overshot or overdone too much. Do you think fans care about that, or do you think it's not really a big deal?
Yes, fans definitely care about
Because
that.
say what you said to him about this movie and action movies.
If action movies are going to continue to do the lovely art of actual stunts,
Practical stunts, yeah.
it's actually going to be better for the sake of the crew, for the sake of the actors, for the
everyone's
sake
ready.
of the stunt doubles, so they know exactly what everything's going to
If
do,
something goes wrong, where to be.
Yeah.
etc. Blah blah blah, to make sure no one dies, no one does anything like
Back
that.
to what you said though. Why do you think overprepared could be a bad thing, or over scripted? Let's say.
Well, there's always a thing as just too much, and while neither Fury Road or Furiosa had too much of anything, lots of movies do overdo some shit, and that's not. Then
I disagree with Fury Road, because remember what Humphrey said. This thing was storyboarded. All of it was all ready to go.
Yeah, but that just made it even more like ready to go. They didn't overdo anything.
It was.
No, I didn't mean overdo. I meant like like they had it ready to go for so long. Maybe they're like over.
You mean like-
over perfections, basically, like trying to perfect it too much.
Look,
don't think-
again, we don't know what those over perfections might have been. As I said,
Yeah.
Fury
No,
Road
that's
was
a good point.
2015.
Yeah.
About what, 6 years between that and Furiosa?
9,
See, they had it planned out.
and they have Wasteland script is done.
Again,
Yeah.
they had it all planned out to be like, here's the background characters that I'm gonna
Here's
use.
what they're doing, why they're doing it.
Not only was the fact of Gibson being able to do everything, period, or whoever actually directed, produced, can't.
George Miller's a director,
Thank you.
producer. Yeah.
Whatever his name is,
George Miller. Yeah.
it's in his mind.
Well, he wrote. So I don't know if anyone knows how Mad Max came about. They were books first, and then they became movies later.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then
They were
like,
originally books. Yes.
and then like literally, you have that to where you can like, this is a unique franchise where they are connected, but you don't have to watch any of them in order for you to not only enjoy the movie,
You could watch
but
them.
to understand
yeah.
what's going on.
Do you think? Obviously, stunt coordination is a big thing, but so for a movie like this, I'll go into a little more detail because I agree with you. Take stunts out of it. Do you think overwriting a script or over perfecting it? Why would it work and why would it not work? Give both sides.
It would not work if you're trying to oversaturate anything.
It works for most action. What genre do you think overwriting would not work for? What genre? I think action. You
Hallmark
can't really,
movies.
That's true because they have a certain way they.
It's literally
They have,
only
like, what is it? Did somebody say 8-step process?
it's that, and then literally there's from that to just your typical like cop
It
shows.
always ends the same way.
Just your typical like,
yeah.
I want to make a cop
Chicago
show.
PD type stuff.
NYPD, that
Chicago PD,
NCIS, everything else. Chicago Fire. How it would work.
It all ends the same way. Yeah.
How it works
Yeah.
is when you're doing something like Star Wars,
It's
Star
repetitive,
Trek.
yeah.
Not repetitive.
No, you're
If
saying the cop shows like they're always repetitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
If to make it work, you need the franchise to be a strong one with a back source. Do you know why that I might love the Michael Bay Transformers, but do you know why they suck? Because the
I don't think you ever
lore
told me this. No.
because the lore of the Transformers is not properly formatted to the fans. Therefore,
Go on.
The fans will expose whoever is writing, directing, producing, behinding it, acting it.
Do you think lore is subjective? Because lore is different for everyone. Like the lore of how something came to be, if you heard it one way and I heard it another way, it's not necessarily that we're wrong.
It
it's
might
how
be
you heard it.
It might be subjective up until it's like the game.
Facts come out.
It's like the game Telephone.
Yeah.
For Star Wars, whatever is George Lucas's mind of Star Wars, it is.
That's what's real.
It is. It is. It is. Nothing more.
Until the facts come out, it's all subjective.
That's why when Dave Filoni wrote with the Clone Wars, he went with George, made sure, does this work? Does this work? Does this
make
work?
sense?
Yeah.
That's why it feels like Star Wars. If you want to go in the realm of, let's just say, let's take Batman and everything. The source material is when they started in the 30s. Everything else,
Pre-Adam West, yeah.
pre-Adam West, but everything else that we know now is from Adam West. But still, the Adam
You know what
West.
I think is crazy? That
What?
you're spot on. Everything is credited to Adam West, but there was a Batman before Adam West.
But
is
everyone only knows that one. And
Do you think he put Batman on the map?
Yes.
Because there was a Batman, like, people don't know
yes.
this. Adam West was not the first on-screen Batman.
I know this, but they were shitty, like short films.
it's
that were
like,
made.
it's like,
Well, Adam West wasn't great either. Like, he had a thing called Shark Spray.
Yes.
No.
But it was.
it's still memorable.
It's.
I'm not saying it wasn't memorable.
It was the most. It was. It was made popular because of television. Before he was a comic book character, not a whole lot of people read comics.
That's fair.
It's also the fact, same thing with Superman. It wasn't until Matt Reeves' trilogy was Superman really
Christopher
on
Reeves.
Christopher Reeves, Matt, whatever
His
it
son Matt played
it
him
doesn't
for one movie. Yeah.
it does not matter. The point being, once those 3 movies, 4 movies, 5 movies came out, it does not matter. That's the source material that the fans now today do. You know why? Because after World War II, that's when everyone started to go into comics.
Yep.
Because
Needed
we
something
wanted to
positive
forget,
to read, yeah.
not only positive, we wanted
Forget what just
to
happened.
be able to do that. Why do you think you have Captain America, Wonder
Let me ask
Woman?
you a question now, because let's get back to the Mad Max point. Because before you get to your topic,
Yeah,
I think you had a question that you wanted to ask him before he left. If
I
I'm not
don't.
mistaken. I thought you did, because
No.
you looked over at him.
It was probably, what are you doing?
No, I looked at him because he was like looking out the
okay.
window.
Okay. So what's your
So-
fact for us? You have a couple, right?
Basically, to go off the stunt thing,
Okay.
I found from Rolling Stone exactly, how much of a hell it actually was. To
The
quote
stunts from Furiosa or Fury Road?
Fury Road,
Okay.
to quote Guy Norris,
Wow. Okay.
it was literally like going to war.
I don't doubt it for a second.
While watching it, it definitely doesn't. It was up to 150 at a time with that during more than 300 sequences, which are all the more impressive given the film's relatively minimal use of CGI.
And again, it's probably hot as hell.
For stunt scenes, the technique was mainly used to ease safety rigs and celebs.
You know what I find super impressive with human beings, and I don't mean to cut you off, but the fact that we're willing to do stunts, it's like you could die doing this. You know what? Do it anyway. Like Tom Cruise is notorious for doing his own stunts. I love that.
You know what? We do that all the time. It's called, we literally pay people to do that sort of shit with roller coasters.
That's fair. So what?
I'm
so
one of those
what was
people.
this? What was the
Same.
78? What was the thing? How much? The 78 days to shoot the.
I think, yeah, I think
Oh, it was
it
the
was.
Fury Road scene when they're on the road that took 78. Like with all the cars and like the people and like
Yeah.
the parachutes in Furiosa. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That
78.
was a 78-day shoot.
Shoot.
So what was your next? What was your next one?
Well, my lovely favorite parts
Hey,
of
hey.
of everything. Ow.
I'm
For those that don't know, we have to kind of make because he likes to look.
So, which ones do we want? Do we want Fury Road or do we want Furiosa
We can do
first?
both. I want Furiosa first though.
Okay, you want Furiosa
Yeah.
first. All right.
It-
Give the predictions.
I know it's brand new, so are there actually numbers? Because it's
Yes.
brand new. Wow.
90,
Give us a range.
B and an A grade.
Okay, so 90.
Okay, I'll say 92 is 92 fan or critic.
Audience.
92 audience.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Wow, I was spot on. And then I'll go B grade 84,
Go up.
86.
87.
Go up. Go in. Go
88.
up. No.
Wow.
That.
Do you think that? I know it's brand new, so let me ask you because you're the movie. We all like movies, but you're on a different level. Do you think that'll stay, or do you think you fluctuate more?
Well, for one, I think it's gonna pretty much probably stay where it is in the terms of the critics.
Do you think audience will go up and down?
It might go up and down because, for one, nostalgia will play a part.
I agree.
For right now, it's good. It's also not fighting anything in the theater.
True.
If is about it.
But even then,
Yeah.
how long has
Garfield and If.
How long has those two have been in the theater? That's
Give
the
me
other thing.
1 second.
Long enough that people aren't going to go watch it instead of this.
And the other big blockbusters previous to this movie
So
are already
If-
out.
And
If
there's
came
not
out May
any more.
If came out May 17th, so last week, a week from today it came out, and then Garfield.
Okay, the other thing
Garfield
is,
came out today.
Well, we know
Garfield
which
came out
movie's getting
today.
spanked. Okay, I'll just say that right now.
Yeah.
But if you want to go back to the thing I said in the earlier podcast, Garfield may bring in a lot of money
It's going to.
because
Chris Pratt-
it's going
Chris
not
Pratt.
not just that.
Oh yeah.
It's a kids movie going up against a very adult-ish film.
Rated R film. Yeah.
It's not just that. Yes, there is barely anything in Furiosa to really make it other than the F-bombs.
yeah.
Literally, that's
Maybe
it.
the violence.
Well,
There's a
it's
lot
just-
of that.
You can get away with that in a
You
PG-13.
can, but but you saw PG-13. They don't show a lot of stuff. Like they showed a spear penetrating a guy's skull.
Okay, they
That's
could have
different.
cut that out, though. That's
You
my
can
point.
you can edit that out. You
They
can
didn't though.
They
yes,
could have,
but
that's
they
the
could.
Point.
There's all of that there's the minor stuff that yes would be cool if there was the one shot or the shadow or whatever else. Think about it this way. Tarzan. They show the shadow of Clayton hanging.
That's true.
Therefore, you can get away with still doing everything.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the Thursday that we saw it, it said in Thursday previews it made $4 million the day before because it was only at select theaters that was showing it on Thursday. Guess how much it's made in the last hour? 34 million.
I believe it.
31 to 34 in the last hour.
Now, do you think that's the power of Mad Max and the franchise itself?
Yes.
Or do you think because of Anna Taylor-Joy and
She's
Chris
big,
Hemsworth?
but she's not like blockbuster. I'm not saying she's a bad actor. She's a hell of an actress, right? She's not, to me, blockbuster enough yet. She's getting there.
What about Chris Hemsworth?
Yes.
Do you think he carries a lot of it?
He does, but I'm thinking, and I might be talking out of my you-know-what here, but I think he would be maybe he would be more well received if he didn't have long hair and didn't look like himself. Maybe if he looked like Chris Hemsworth in like interviews with short hair, clean shaven, maybe it would be bigger. But that name will sell. So you are right, Will. Anya Taylor-Joy, huge actress. We all know that. Again, she was in a $1 billion movie. She was in a Bowser movie. That movie was huge. But I don't think she's quite there yet. She's getting there.
Now, the other thing that is helping this movie, too,
Is that it's a Mad Max movie.
not that, with the success of how good Fury Road actually
They want to
did.
come back and see this one.
No, not only with that, with how good Fury Road is, and because this movie is connected directly to it.
Guess what they think it'll gross
Yeah.
by tomorrow?
A lot.
85.
That's a lot. I
Yeah.
was right.
Do we think, predicting it now,
The budget, so to make even,
okay?
I'm going to look up Furiosa budget. I'm going to look this up here. The budget for Furiosa was 168. To break even, they got to make 168. That's the budget. They're going to crush that, I think.
Now, quick prediction right before we do the other one and ending.
And his, yeah.
No, ending. He already did his.
Oh, that's right.
What do you think that this can be the all-time blockbuster film?
In terms of?
Like, can this beat Endgame in terms of
No.
money being brought in?
No.
I think if it wasn't a prequel, maybe.
No.
I believe if it was if it was a sequel to Fury Road, maybe.
No.
The fact that it's a prequel, no.
No, just
I honestly do
But
believe
this
that.
movie will break even for sure.
oh
There's
yeah,
no
but
way it
I
won't.
don't think it's gonna beat Titanic or Endgame.
So you don't think it's gonna like skyrocket enough to be?
No,
It'll be big.
it'll be big, but
It'll
I
be
don't
big of the year, but it won't be like anything.
It won't be movie.
like,
It won't be movie of the year. It'll be in contention for it though.
I don't think it's even gonna beat The Force Awakens whenever it came out. Box
That
office
made like
wise.
$1 billion, I think.
I know.
That's still on the top 10, to be
So
honest.
the Mad Max Fury Road grossed 380. Its budget was 154, so it doubled it.
Speaking of Fury Road, what do you guys think, real quick, for the audience and critic score for that one? You're looking in the same realm of the 80s and
A and B.
90s.
88 and 93.
I'll go 88. I'll go 88, 91.
Down, up for the 80. And then
So 89.
down for the 80.
Down for the. You said down for the 90. Okay. Down for 83.
Up.
4, 5.
One more up.
86 critic.
Audience.
Wow. And then I'll go 94.
Up.
95.
No.
Real what? 98. 7.
97.
That's damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again,
Did that surprise you when you saw that?
No.
here's
No,
the no, because
really?
here's the other reason. With knowing that they hated each other, usually when actors and actresses and
They make a
whatever
great movie.
don't hate each other to
They
death,
make a hell of a movie.
and if they're really good friends, they'll make a good movie together.
Why is it when it's? Let me ask you, okay, Matt. I'll give you an example. Why is it when actors are good friends, the movie sucks ass?
Unless it's an Adam Sandler movie, I don't know.
Like I don't get it. When the actors hate one another, the movie skyrockets.
Because they want to beat each other out to be the better
Probably.
actor.
That's part of it.
They're trying to outact. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, trying to outact somebody. Yeah.
All right, think about it this way. You working on a school project with either the guy you hate or with us. Which are you going to do better on? With us, you can screw around the whole time, and you
But
might
I'll still
not-
want to do good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with us, we'll be distracted. With
Yeah,
us,
that's
we'll
fair.
fool around and
That's a
everything.
good point.
If you're working with someone you
try
dislike
to outdo
altogether,
them, yeah.
you're gonna outdo them to be
Try
better.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're working out with the person on your team that you hate, you're gonna want to outdo them. If you're gonna work out with the teammate that you love, you're gonna be chatting.
I want to know. Can you do Mad Max 1 with Mel Gibson? I kind of want to know.
I don't
real
know.
quick.
I don't know what the cheesiness of the dialogue if I could actually handle that one.
No, can you just do the critics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
So
you
is
do,
it just Mad Max?
Mad Max 1, but it's actually called. I forget the name of it. Jeez. Yeah, it's just literally just called Mad Max. Yeah.
79. That was another 1979 movie.
Yeah.
Okay. A and C.
I'll go 92.
No.
1,
No.
90. I'll go audience.
No.
Tomato.
Cheating, dude.
I didn't start guessing.
That's the audience.
Wow. I'll go. You said C for the other one?
No, 90 was the tomato score.
No, I'm saying, but you said A and C grade,
Yes.
right?
The audience gave it this.
74.
No.
Down.
3 or 2?
Down.
7D.
Yes.
That's almost D. Wow.
It's still passing.
That's wow.
Me and
The
chemistry
audience gave it a
class.
70?
Yeah.
Wow.
Audiences be that way.
It's called
Usually
bad
critics-
graphics, probably.
Usually critics give it a harsher score. Usually.
Not always true, but
No, it's not. But usually it is.
all right, guys. I'm the host, so how long are we at?
We're at 43. We're good.
All
Okay,
right,
so we're good.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Any last comments?
It was awesome.
It was good. It was a great movie.
To quote myself from about 30 minutes ago, it was a fucking masterpiece.
And that'll do it, boys. Peace.